Hello everyone, in this video I will discuss about the new revised syllabus of physics for session 2020 to 21, which is suggested by CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education, and this syllabus will apply for all CBSE board examination for the current session. So you have to be known of these facts. What is the new syllabus? So let us discuss. So here is revised physics class 11 to 12 code 042 2020 to 21. So these are some regulations or guidelines which are mainly for teachers and for institutions which are following CBSE board curriculum. So you can read these. Development processes, experiment, promoted problem solving ability. These are not important for students. So for students, what is important? Let us now discuss our syllabus for class 12 students. So this is the class 12 physics theory syllabus for session 20 to 21 given by CBSE. So in chapter 1, that is electric charge, here you can see the mark distribution. So 16 marks will be asked from chapter 1, 2 and 3 combined together. 17 marks from chapter 4, 5, 6 and 7. 18 marks from chapter 8, 9 and 10 combined together. And 12 marks from chapter 11, 12 and 13 combined together. And from last chapter, which is chapter 14, there will be only 7 marks. So here let us discuss in detail about the syllabus. So first is electric charge and field. In this chapter you have to read electric charges, consumption of charges, Coulomb's law, force between 2 point charges, force between multiple charges, superposition principle and continuous charge distribution, electric field due to a point charge, electric field lines, electric dipole, electric field due to a dipole, torque on a dipole in uniform electric field, electric flux, statement of Gauss's theorem and its application to find field due to infinitely long wire and uniformly charged finite plane sheet. From chapter 2, that electrostatic potential and capacitance. Topics are electric potential, potential difference, electric potential due to point charge, a dipole and a system of charges, equipotential surface, electric potential energy of a system of 2 point charges and of electric dipole in an electrostatic field, conductor, insulator, free charges and bound charges inside a conductor, dielectrics and electric polarization, capacitor, capacitance, combination of capacitors in series and parallel, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, and with and without dielectric medium between the plates, energy stored in a capacitor. Next is chapter 3. So electric current, flow of electric charge in a metallic conductor, drift velocity, mobility and their relation with electric current, Ohm's law, electrical resistance, IV characteristics, linear and non-linear both, electrical energy and power, electrical resistivity and conductivity, temperature dependence of resistance, internal resistance of a cell, potential difference and EMF of a cell, combination of cells in series and parallel, Kirchhoff's law and simple application, Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge, only quantitative ideas for meter bridge, potentiometer, principle and its application to measure potential differences, and for comparing EMF of two cells, measurement of internal resistance of a cell, only quantitative ideas only. And from chapter 4, topics are concept of magnetic field or state experiment, Biot-Savart law and its application to current carrying circular loop, only circular loop, you have to keep in your mind, Ampere's law and its application to infinitely long straight wire, straight and toroidal solenoid, only quantitative ideas for these topics. Force on a moving charge in uniform magnetic and electric field, force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field, force between two parallel current carrying conductors, definition of ampere, torque experiencing by a current loop in uniform external magnetic field, moving coil galvanometer, its current sensitivity and conversion of galvanometer into ammeter and voltmeter. So next is chapter 5, which is magnetism and matters. So current loop as a magnetic dipole and its magnetic dipole moment of a resolving electron bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid, magnetic field lines, earth's magnetic field and magnetic element. Next is our unit 4, and which is starting from chapter 6. So from chapter 6, electromagnetic induction, Farad law, induced EMF and current, Lenz's law, eddy current, self and mutual inductance. And from chapter 7, the topics are alternating current, peak and root mean square, value of alternating current, voltage, reactance and impedance, LC oscillator, only quantitative ideas for LC oscillator, LCR series circuit, resonance, power in AC circuit, AC generator and transformer. So from chapter 8, topics are electromagnetic wave, their characteristics, their transverse nature, only quantitative ideas for this topic, electromagnetic spectrum, radio wave, microwave, infrared, visible, ultraviolet, X-ray and gamma rays, all these radio, all these electromagnetic waves, including elementary facts about their uses and what are their uses. So from chapter 9, the topics are from ray optics, refraction of light. As you know that reflection has been removed from this portion, so you have to only study about refraction of light, total internal reflection and its application, optical fiber, refraction at spherical surface, lenses, thin lens formula, lens maker formula, magnification power of a lens, combination of thin lenses in contact, fabrication of refraction of light through a prism, optical instrument में microscope and astronomical telescope, reflecting and refracting both. In astronomical telescope you have to study about reflecting as well as refracting, both type of astronomical telescope and their magnifying powers. So that was chapter 9. Next is chapter 10. From chapter 10, topics are wave optics, wavefront and Huygens principle, refraction and refraction of plane wave at a plane surface using a wavefront, proof of law of reflection and refraction using Huygens principle, interference, Young's double slit experiment and expression for fringe width, coherent source and sustained interference of light diffraction due to a single slit width of central maximum. Next is chapter 11, that is dual nature of radiation and matter. So from this chapter, dual nature of radiation, photoelectric effect, Hertz and Lenard's observation, Einstein photoelectric equation, particle nature of light, experimental study of photoelectric effect, matter wave and wave nature of particle, de Broglie relation. All these topics you have to study. Next is from chapter 12, that is from atoms, alpha particle scattering experiment, Rutherford model of atom, Bohr model, energy levels, hydrogen spectrum. As you know that from chapter 12, all the decays, that is alpha, beta and gamma decays, their properties, mean lifetime, half lifetime, all those topics have been removed. So this is also very small portion which you can complete in a very little time. Next is from chapter 13, that is nuclei, so composition and size of nucleus, nuclear forces, mass energy relation, mass defect, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. These topics from chapter 13 you have to study about these topics in chapter 13. Next is chapter 14, which is semiconductor electronics, material devices and simple circuit. So energy bands in conductor, semiconductor, insulators, quantitative ideas only for these topics, semiconductor, diode, IV characteristics in forward and reverse bias, diode as a rectifier, special purpose p-njunction diode, LED, photodiode, solar cell, etc. So these are your topics for theories which you have to study for 2021 board examination of class 12. Next is your practical. So practical, the record to be submitted by the student at the time of their annual examination has to be record of at least 8 experiments. So you have to prepare only 8 experiments for the final examination with each from uh, with 4 from each section. There are 2 sections, A and B, for practical. From each section you have to prepare 4. So from A 4 experiment and from section B 4 experiment. Total will be 8 experiments for your board examination. Next is your evaluation scheme. 2 experiments in your final practical examination, board practical examination. There will be 2 experiments, 8 and 8 marks for each, and practical records 7 marks, and viva on experiment 7 marks. These are the syllabus for experiment. Section A, you can choose any 4 of these experiments, and these are activities. Next is from section B, these are experiment, you can choose from any 4 of the following experiments, and these are activities. And practical examination, oh, this is not for. Thank you and have a nice day.